Did you know that in Oregon, it is illegal to pump your own gas? In Texas, you can't dust a public building with a feather duster. And in Georgia, it is illegal to carry an ice cream cone in your back pocket, but only on Sundays, because apparently ice cream theft is fine Monday through Saturday, but God draws a line on the Sabbath. These laws are weird. They're outdated, and honestly, they make you wonder who hurt the lawmaker with the feather duster. But the real point here is this: laws just don't fall from the sky. They come from norms. The social rules and contracts that tell us what's normal, what's expected, and what gets you side-eye from strangers. Norms are everywhere. At a football game, yelling and screaming is normal. At the library, yelling is deviant behavior. If you are cheering for someone that is checking out a book, you're not breaking the law, you're just the weirdest hype man in history. Deviance is simply breaking one of these norms. But here's the trick. What counts as deviant depends on the context in which the behavior occurs. Tattoos, like for example, they used to be considered taboo. Today, they're socially accepted. Unless you have a neck tattoo, in which case society assumes you really hate the idea of steady employment. But attitudes and opinions about behaviors change over time, as we've seen with things like gay marriage and the legalization of marijuana. Most of the time, we are using informal social control to keep people's behavior in check. So if you cut a line in the store, you're going to get glares, maybe some passive-aggressive sighs, and even a well-placed middle finger. In fact, a lot of behaviors are shaped by agents of social control, such as parents, friends, teachers, and people we look up to, who we listen to, and model our behavior after. The formal social control steps in. That's where we write laws. For example, bullying, revenge porn, these are all things that move from being socially frowned upon to actually being written into laws with real punishments. To put it simply, the criminal justice system runs on laws, and laws are rooted in norms. And norms are rooted in what society decides is acceptable. And what is acceptable changes over time, and it depends on the context. What is appropriate behavior in Austin, Texas might be completely different than Colorado Springs or Manitou. So it's why we criminalize some behaviors and then just throw shade at others. But remember, yelling at the library, weird. Eating your neighbor's garbage without permission in Texas, it's actually illegal. So maybe don't.